Hey Pet Pro, this episode is sponsored by some incredible brands we personally use and love.
And their support helps keep the mics on, so you will hear more about them throughout the show.
Okay, let's talk Super Zoo. We are coming in hot because Pet Shop Girls on Tour is officially happening.
Yeah! And we are launching season 3 with 2 epic events that you do not want to miss.
First up, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. is our Pet Shop Girls on Tour Vegas bus party.
Woo woo! And tickets are very limited, so if you want in, do not wait.
This bus party is sponsored by Aardvark Pet Products with drinks and swag provided by Framposs and Retail Smart Guys.
And yes, we are making a stop at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign for a photo op because obviously we had to make this iconic.
So if you want to ride with us, click the link in the show notes and reserve your spot now.
Then on Thursday at 2 p.m., come find us at the Aardvark Pet Products booth, number 3561, for your live Pet Shop Girls podcast recording and the launch of season 3, baby!
And right after that, we're throwing what might be the most epic booth party of Super Zoo.
Yes, and huge paws up to our amazing sponsors that are making this party possible. The Honest Kitchen, Smack Pet Foods, and of course, Aardvark Pet Products.
This is where our indie insiders will get our now famous Pet Shop Girls goodie bag filled with brands that actually support independence.
Right, so here's the plan. Tuesday night, Vegas, bus party. You need a ticket to ride. Thursday afternoon, live podcast and season 3 launch party.
Check the Indie Insider private Facebook community for all the updates. Come celebrate with us, come hang with us, and come help us kick off season 3 the right way.
We cannot wait to see you at Super Zoo.
Pet Shop Girls on Tour, baby! Let's go!
Okay, super quick. We know that we talk about Aardvark Pet Products a lot.
And that's because if it weren't for Art, there would be no Pet Shop Girls as you know it.
Exactly, because his support is what allows us to bring you these conversations, interviews, and business tips for independent pet retailers.
So yes, we're going to keep talking about him, and honestly, we're okay with that.
Because if you haven't checked out Art's private label program yet, you really should.
We're talking low minimums, no setup fees, custom labels, and fast turnaround, which makes private label actually doable for independents.
So if you've been wanting your own branded chew line but thought, it's too complicated or it's out of reach.
It's not. You just need to talk to Aardvark Pet Products.
And you can email Art directly at artn, as in Nancy, at aardvarkpet.com. And make sure to include code PetShopGirls to save a little extra on your first order.
Pet Shop Girls, the voice of the indie, the heart of the trade. Pet Shop Girls, unleash your power, let's make some waves.
Hey everybody, I'm Sherry.
And I'm Carly.
Welcome back to the Pet Shop Girls podcast. We have...
Wait a minute.
What?
Welcome back to the last regular episode
of season 2. It is so true. Yeah, because we have a whole new look for season 3, and we have a really cool summer mini-series coming up.
And this is the kickoff to that super cool, you get 9 weeks of tech tools. Even if you're not techie, you're still going to want to tune in because these are easy to use tools that Sherry and I are both using, either both of us are using or one of us is using in different ways in our businesses. So we want to share those with you. This is our attempt at taking summer off. So much for that.
I know. Last year we did take a summer break and ran reruns, but we didn't want to do that. We love you guys too much. So we have...
Yeah. We
planned this summer mini-series, and it's going to be super awesome. I'm excited.
At like the beginning of the year, I think we planned it. And we planned it as though like, this will be super easy. And now
I know.
it's turned into a lot of work. But I think it's good because there is so much tech out there, and there is so much tech out there that can truly help us either do things more efficiently in our business, do things better in our business. And a lot of tech out there today is AI. And this
Yeah.
is why we wanted to have the great AI debate.
Yes, because I mean, I'm sure you guys just in your daily happenings have had this conversation with somebody where you say something like, I used Claude or Chat to figure this out, and they're like, oh, I don't use AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you
Or
come
there's
across people?
customers out there. Oh, there's like, listen, this is like AI is the new politics. And
Yeah.
th- there are people, very smart people on both sides of this coin,
Mhm.
some that are saying AI is the best thing since sliced bread. And then on the other side of that, they are saying AI is the devil that will destroy humanity. So
I know
it's a
it's
very
scary.
polarizing event. Yeah.
It's scary, but it's here, and I feel like I think everyone knows where we stand, and that's if you're not using it, then you're gonna get left in the dust.
Okay. Well, here is where I stand. I believe that it is fascinating and frightening all at the same time.
Didn't we all think that
This,
about the internet when that came out?
oh, probably. Like every generation has some major change in events or change in technology. Like in the 60s, Americans specifically had bunkers built under their houses because they were going to be involved in a nuclear war, right? Like that was of that generation. That was the thing that they feared the most, is that the planet was going to be destroyed by nuclear bombs. And now here we are in the 2020s, and we're afraid that the robots are going to rise up and take over. And now, like I said, there's two sides to this story. There's people that are embracing AI and think it's amazing, and then there are on the other side that think that this is terrible. It's ruining the planet. It has environmental impacts. It makes, it reminds me of a quote that I think fits this very well. 4 out of 5 people think that the fifth person is an idiot. And when it comes to, do we love AI or do we hate AI, that fits, right? Because regardless of what side you're on, you think that the other guys are just naive and they don't know what's happening, or they're not paying attention. I- It is an advance in technology. And I think one thing that makes it very frightening is how quickly
Mhm.
AI advances, right? Like we
Right,
didn't see
our
it
summer tech miniseries will probably be obsolete 6 months from now,
if
you
6
know?
months, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's, yeah, like it changes so quickly, and no other kind of revolutionary era in our times has ever moved this
It's
quickly.
so fast. Have you thought about this? Like, we are taking in more information in one day than our grandparents took in probably a month, maybe 2 months.
Yeah, or longer.
I mean, no
And
wonder we're all stressed, and
I
it's a
would
lot of
but
information.
I would say that we're probably consuming a lot of information, but how much are we retaining?
Mhm.
Right? Because so we're consuming it at record amounts, but we're also not retaining it. When our grandma learned how to make an apple pie, she was probably shown once. It took half a day, and she never forgot for the rest of her life how to make an apple pie. But if
But
I sit down for half a day and scroll through,
do we need to retain it? You just look up that apple pie recipe online each time you need it.
well, see, that's part of the debate, because I think that some people would say, then what do you know? Like, if you are not retaining the information, do you really know it, or you just know how to access it? And there's value in both things.
Mhm.
But I think that, like, here's the whole thing. We are not trying to convince or persuade anybody to be on one side of this or the others. We wanted to kind of lay out the positive things about AI and then the scarier things about
Yep.
AI, that may, just so that everybody has that understanding of where other people are coming from. I've got friends that are so anti AI.
Oh my gosh. I have a quick story. Uh,
Yeah.
so I have a friend that makes short movies, like 11-minute films, right?
Yeah.
and he writes them, directs them, does all the things. And he was struggling with the ending to one of his scripts. And I said, "Well, why don't you just plug your whole script into a chat and see what it recommends?" And he was like, "Absolutely not." And I said,
Yeah.
"I didn't say have it write it for you. I said have it give you some ideas." And he was like, "Absolutely not." And I'm like, to me, I was just looked at him quizzically. I just didn't understand because sometimes if I've got some writer's block or whatever, asking it for ideas really helps me. But
Yeah.
I just couldn't understand why he didn't want to use it.
My suspicion, not knowing this guy, but my suspicion based on things that I've heard from those that are opposed to AI is that he is an artist, he is a creative, and he wants this to be his brainchild. He doesn't
Yeah.
want the addition of something that he didn't come up with, which I get, right? Like he would feel like a cop out. And I think that kind of it reminds me too of like when and we'll get into this in a little bit more, but like people are like, AI is going to take all the jobs. It's going to take all the jobs. Well, let me ask you, when was the last time you sat down to have your picture painted? Like your portrait
Yeah.
painted, right?
Yeah.
So back in the day, that's what we used to have to, like I was there in the 1900s anyways.
Well,
But
like
back in the day,
18,
1800s,
yeah.
yeah,
Actually,
Jesus's
before
time.
before that, yeah. Renaissance.
So Bill, but okay, so people used to have to sit to get their portraits painted. And then when the camera was invented and all of these pop-up photographers started happening, the portrait painters of the day were like, that's not art. What I do is art. And then the camera slowly took over. It didn't mean that all of a sudden there weren't any jobs. It meant there were new jobs. The camera created new jobs. And then fast forward a little bit more when everybody's running around with a computer in their pocket and now they're filming movies and taking pictures and creating art with an iPhone. Photographers were like, that's not art. What I do is art. But look at all the jobs that the iPhone created. Now, it took a long time to go from painting portraits to making movies on an iPhone in your pocket. And I think that's what makes AI so scary is that we might have been painting portraits yesterday, but tomorrow we're
And it's just so
making videos on
fast.
an
Yeah,
iPhone. And
it's
it
hard
just
to
happens so
adjust.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But okay, I
also,
think,
and I'm sure we'll talk about it, it's how people are using it.
mm,
And I feel like there's some people that just aren't utilizing it properly or
we're
yeah.
using it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, I would say that I am fascinated by what it can do and all of the things that I have been able to do with it. I am frightened that there is no guardrails. There are no guardrails and no measures of security currently involved with AI and how
Sure.
quickly it's
But
getting.
again, let's
Yeah.
try to remember back to when the internet first hit the scene, same issues. It was the wild, wild
Yeah.
west.
Hey, Y2K, man. We
Yeah.
were all celebrating that last New Year's because the world was ending
Yeah.
as soon as all of the clocks went 00.
Yeah.
And we sat there when it hit midnight
You know,
holding our breath.
I was a junior in
Oh,
high
the world didn't
I
end.
was a junior in high school, so I didn't really care that much. But
Oh, listen,
but
I
my
was saying
dad
my goodbyes.
my dad was in tech and he like he is a computer coder and all that and they were freaking out.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, I know.
crazy. Yeah.
I know. I'm not joking. I was saying my goodbyes because the world was ending in 2000. Here we are 26 years later. Anyways, okay, so let's start talking about this. But I want to remind everybody, we're not here to sway you. We are not the AI salespeople or the doomsday salespeople. We are simply, we want to talk about what good things can come out of AI and then some of the more negative or detrimental things. And as Sherry and I talked about, we both use AI. We use AI for different things. I'll tell you a quick story, Sherry. I was talking to a friend of mine who is fairly techy, like in comparison to me. I've always referred to him as a techie. He doesn't believe he's techie, but I'm like, I think you're techie with the stuff that you do. But he and I were talking about AI, and he said, I'll put it this way. He said, a small business that uses AI is a small business that I won't support because
What?
he's not the only one. There's lots of customers out there that are like, businesses who use AI, I will not patronize those businesses. And his reason is that local business who is expecting local support should be locally employing the people that they're buying AI
Well,
tools
I'm
to.
sorry, does he want to pay a social media
Thank you.
manager $4,000 a month?
Thank you.
Because right now I don't want to pay that, and I can do all my social media with the help of AI in a shorter amount of time. So again, does he want to pay the $4,000?
And that's just it. And you're saying that you don't want to. There could be businesses that
Can't.
cannot pay
Well,
that
that too. I don't
$4,000.
know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that too. It's seriously, bro.
That's the thing. Like, I know that it's not all people. I know there's a lot of local business owners out there that are saying, absolutely not. I won't use AI and I won't patronize any business that does.
They
And
just don't want to
uh,
take the time to learn it.
well, that could be part of it. And I mean, there also, when we get into kind of the cons of AI, there are some environmental impacts, obviously, by using AI, but we'll talk about that then. But I agree that the people are saying, oh, a local business who's using AI isn't supporting other local artists and other jobs. But that business who is using AI, that local business, is also trying to be mindful of the financial health of their business, right? And so $4,000 a
And
month for
still
a social
providing
media.
quality content
Mhm.
for its customer base. Yeah.
I am definitely not for 100% AI generated content for socials. That is like, you're just pushing out AI slop, just like a lot of other people,
Yeah,
and
it
nobody
is
wants to read that.
boring. And yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, and that is something that we were going to talk about too. Yeah, it's like
oh, well, I'm all over the place.
I mean, look, it's just like everything. You want it in moderation, and you want to
In
use it
moderation, but,
in the right way.
and I think you use AI, or when I say you, like us, I want to use AI to bring my ideas to life. So I'm going to very quickly, I was putting out an email to my customers, and it was titled "The Thing Your Vet Won't Tell You." And what I needed was a picture of a veterinarian with a red X of tape across their mouth because they're not telling you, right? Well, do you think you can find this image anywhere? No. So I got AI to create that portion of my image, and then I created the rest, and I put the dog in there, and I put whatever else I wanted, and I put the wording, but I needed that specific piece that didn't exist anywhere. So I had AI create my little vet with the red tape over
Well,
its
you
mouth.
could have made a crappy looking one with just a picture of a vet and then put it into Canva and then put a red X over it, but it wouldn't have looked as good at
It
all.
wouldn't have looked like tape. Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm not, I wouldn't have said like, build me this image and then write my email and then make the post. Like, I don't condone 100% AI, because everybody can smell the chat GPT pouring off your face like a mile away. Right. So I'm not suggesting that, but I'm saying use it where it makes sense. But anyways, let's take a look at, the first thing I want to look at is like, what is AI? Because
Mm.
I think a lot of fear that the robots are rising up to take over and they will kill humanity is a little bit sci-fi, because most AI out there today, yes, they have and know enormous amounts of data, but they are also designed to kind of do that like one thing really well. And that's AI. There is also AGI, the artificial general intelligence, which is that sci-fi version that they will control the universe. And that doesn't exist yet. AIs are designed to do one thing and one thing very well. So they're narrow AIs, if you will, because they're specialized in one task or one type of task,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And like the AIs that we use today, like ChatGPT, it's literally a chat agent.
Right. I feel like AI is being incorporated in so many things that we don't even realize it anymore.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, look at Canva. Canva has it didn't start with AI
Nope.
incorporated, but now it has it incorporated.
Well, and neither did Google. But now when you
Yeah.
search Google, and I personally, I prefer it because
Yeah,
when
me
I'm
too, because it
looking up
like
something
summarizes
weird,
everything instead of
yes.
having to go to each website. Love it.
Yeah. 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 And so those kinds of things like ChatGPT or Claude is very good at like helping you multitask and act like a coworker. So it can build documents, or it could build apps, or it could build little games, or it could build a website for you. Gemini, really good at researching, which is probably why, like, and it's probably getting better every day, because when we Google, Gemini is the AI owned by Google, it's learning every day, like, how do humans search for things? And now this is the kind of information that humans are looking for. I looked at an AI, what would you call it, attendant for my store to answer our phone. And so there are some out there that are, and there's some that are probably better than others. But what I was looking for is when I'm in my store by myself, or when my employees are in in the store by themselves, and the phone rings, we can't answer it, right? Because we've got a customer. Sorry, we can answer it if there's nobody in there. But if we're with a customer, the customer comes first, so we don't answer the phone. But if you're the guy phoning to say, "Hey, I just wanted to see, do you have this in stock?" Or, "I just wanted to, like, what time are you open till today?" Or your phone call isn't getting answered. So I thought, to be more efficient, I could have an AI attendant answering our phones. As I was trying to set it up, I figured, unfortunately, it was going to lose us more business than it would get us, because I was testing it, and I would call in and I'd be like, "Hey, do you have the Tilted Barn treats?" And it would say, "Oh, yes, we do. What kind are you looking for?" And I'd say, "I'm looking for the bison kind." "Oh, I see we have beef and bacon, but no bison." And I'm like, "Where are you looking?" Because the beef, the bacon, the bison, the lamb, they're all there together. So yeah,
Well, I
it
mean,
was good.
the technology probably just isn't there yet.
And
Like a
maybe
year
it's
from now,
changed.
it may be where we need it to be, but it just isn't there yet. Quick pause, because we want to talk about a dry food that actually deserves the praise it gets.
Are you talking about carnivore? Because I love carnivore. I have carried it for years, and it's my number one selling dry food.
And I bet one of the biggest reasons is how it's made. Carnivore uses whole food ingredients, no synthetics, and it's air baked, not extruded like traditional kibble. That alone puts it in a completely different category.
Exactly. It's much less processed than kibble, but you still get that scoop and go convenience that customers want.
Which makes it a great fit for parents who care about real nutrition but still need something practical.
And I always explain it to my customers as a raw food alternative. It's perfect for raw feeders when they're traveling, boarding their pet, or dealing with a pet sitter who just doesn't want to touch raw food.
That comes up constantly, doesn't it? It's a real world problem for a lot of pet parents.
Right? And it helps customers stay consistent without compromising what they believe in.
Plus, it's a Canadian family run company that's been doing things thoughtfully long before better dry food became a trend.
And if a store is looking for a true gold standard dry option, they can stand behind carnivore with confidence because it belongs on the shelf.
Agreed. And it's one of those products that makes educating customers easier because the integrity is already built in, and I can't wait to get it into my store.
If you're interested in bringing carnivore into your store, visit their website at www.carnivore, that's CARNA4, the number 4.com. I know that, like, I get emails from these guys still that they've made enhancements, and now it can, like, I want that AI attendant to actually, like, look at my website to see exactly what we have and how much we have in stock, so it could tell you, "Oh yes, we have the bison tilted
That would
barn
be
treats. We
amazing.
actually."
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is Spencer. I've already created his image. He is named after my German Shepherd. But
Aw.
anyways, so yeah, I think, again, the tools that are currently out there today, the AI tools that are out there, are narrowly focused. They're very good at what they do, and they still have tons of information, but it's not that tool that is the end all be all that knows all of the things and will rise up and take over humanity. Those AI tools don't exist yet.
Nope.
Yet. They could
Okay.
be coming.
Are we talking about the pros next?
Yeah, like why, okay. The case for AI, if we're going to talk about the great AI debate, we're going to talk about like, why would people be for AI? Give me your reason, Sherry. Like, why are you for AI?
Faster marketing. I mean, for me and my business, it's faster marketing, emails, captions. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I can't think of something to put on a image that I'm going to post on Instagram. And back in the day, I'd probably just put like 5 words or
Yeah.
just like, Transformation Tuesday, here you go.
Yeah.
And it really helps elaborate what I'm posting, and it does it really fast. And I have trained it to talk in my
Voice.
in my voice.
Yeah.
And then of course I always go in and tweak it. But anyway, faster marketing, and yeah, when I get brain fog, which I kind of do right
Hmm.
now, um, you just can't think of what to say. It really, really helps. Oh, I guess we're not talking about the anti stuff. I was going to talk about the anti stuff
Not yet.
in correlation to that. Okay, so we'll talk about
That's
that later.
coming.
Okay. Well, I mean, oh, the other great thing that it has helped me with is making outlines for like meetings.
Mhm.
Like I would waste 2 to 3 hours just for a staff meeting outline back in the day.
Yeah.
Now I can
Yeah.
just brain dump and then it makes the outline. And this is nothing
Yeah.
customer facing. This is all internal and it saves so much time.
But you said two key things there too. Like you said, when AI spits something out, you like to tweak it. And then you talked about like making your agendas, you kind of brain dump. I think that's a key thing with AI that a lot of folks who maybe are on the anti side of AI don't realize is that the way that AI works the best is when there's a human in the middle. And that means that I have an idea and maybe I'm driving and this brilliant idea pops into my head and I want to start like getting it out there and documenting this idea, but I'm driving. I literally can open up whatever AI app I want and just start talking. And I can tell it all the things and I can say, listen, I've got this idea. I want you to put it into an order that makes sense. I want you to start documenting this so I can see all of the things that I need to do in order to accomplish this idea. And then I just brain dump and I'm like, blah, 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 all of the things that I want it to know. And when I arrive at my destination, it's compiled this into a nice, neat little document.
Mm-hmm.
And right. And then I can even say, did I miss something? Is there some glaring hole that I'm not seeing when I think I want to do this? And I think it's a brilliant idea. Am I missing something? And it can say, well, you didn't think about this. You don't have $10 million sitting in your back pocket. And that's what
No,
you need to
I've done the
implement
same
this.
thing where like I'm on my way to a meeting for like a lawyer, or I'm on my way to my CPA, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't make any notes before I went. So I'm just talking to it in my car and I tell it to come up with some pertinent questions, or here's some things that I want to talk about, put it in an outline, and I tell it to put it in a PDF. And then once I was parked, I was able to take that PDF, load it into my Remarkable tablet so that I can whip out my Remarkable tablet and there's my outline. I can write on it. It's great. And I did all of it literally within like 20 minutes while I was driving.
Driving. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Here's another thing that I think AI is really good at. So you're trying to establish, let's say, your SOPs for your store, but you've got a very complicated process I'm going to give a bad example, but you've got a very complicated process for opening your store. And you feel like because that process is so complicated that only you can do it, because how could you ever document this and tell somebody else how to do it? Tell AI.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to sit down with AI and you're going to say, okay, AI of choice, whoever you're using, Chat, Gemini, Claude, doesn't matter. You're going to say, okay, I've got this process that I need to document into an SOP for my team so that I'm not the only guy who does it. When I come in the morning, I have to open this door by 7 a.m. You have to deactivate the alarm code. If it's raining, you have to jiggle the key because the lock won't turn. All of the little nuances. And then, oh, yeah, right. And sorry, before you jiggle the lock, you also have to flip the mailbox or whatever your secret sauce is of this SOP that nobody else but you can do. And you're telling that AI all of these weird things and saying, put this in the correct order so that I can have a documented SOP.
Organize it. Yeah. Whereas
And now
just,
Sally can
just
do it.
organizing your SOPs back in the day and making like a whole manual would have been hours upon hours. And now, okay, for example, so we have a main like policy procedure manual for the whole store. And then
Yeah.
I have different department manuals, one for grooming, one for the front desk, one for the fish room. Because honestly, the people in the fish room don't need to really know how to do kennel work, and the kennel people don't need to know the fish stuff. So
Yeah.
depending on what department you're in, you're going to get the assigned manual. So I struggled for years with the grooming manual in
Hmm.
particular because I'm not a groomer. So
Hmm.
I collected as much information as I could from my groomers and all of the different documents that we had posted like on the walls, like here's how you fill the shampoo tank and here's how you do a deshed process. I took all of those, I loaded it in to AI, I told it what I needed, and I brain dumped the rest of it, and then it goes boop, and it looks beautiful.
Yes. And then you're going to tweak, right?
Yeah.
Because if
You want to
as
proof
you're
it?
reviewing,
Yeah.
yeah. And when you're reviewing it and you're like, oh crap, I forgot to say you have to do this too. Then you literally type that in there to make sure that your SOPs are the way they
But
need to
it
be.
cut down like 90% of the time.
Yep. 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 So, one thing that I'm in the process of setting up is that when I verbalize my SOPs to my chat agent of choice, it will then automatically, I can connect it to Notion, which is where I store all of my SOPs, and it will go bloop. And now when something, now we have a new process, or now we have a new return process, or a new claiming damaged product process, whatever that is, I can literally verbalize it to my AI and it can plop it into Notion. So it goes with all of my other SOPs. And Notion is something we're going to talk about.
So yes, yes. And on that note as well, since we're talking about SOPs, I created a custom chat and loaded in all my manuals. And I
Mhm.
had it took a few hours to do this, but it was easy because I just kept prompting it. I had chat go through all of my blogs, and I have a large blog catalog, and condense it down into a PDF that I could then load into the custom chat so that my staff can go into, I think I called it like the Odyssey SOP assistant or something. They can
Yeah.
go in there and be like, "What's our dress code?" And it'll go, boom, there it is. They could also go in and be like, "I have a customer with an itchy dog. What am I supposed to recommend again?" And it goes, bloop, here's all the recommendations.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing. I love it.
It's a knowledge. Yeah. You've just created a personal knowledge database that your
Yeah.
team can, when you're not there to answer the question or the manager's not there, you don't have to be, because now they've got access to the information. Okay, so that is how it would help busy people like everybody who's listening to this. I want to talk about too, though, this is obviously not at our level, but at a much higher level, how AI is being set up to literally save lives
Mm,
in the healthcare system,
tell me.
right? So there's a lot of information out there about how much quicker AI can detect certain diseases years before doctors can catch them. So just some examples, there's studies showing that AI can detect breast cancer with greater accuracy than radiologists. AI has also been able to identify Alzheimer's disease markers up to 6 years before symptoms even appear. And AI is also there, it's improving on how we can earlier detect lung cancer, diabetes, like all of these different diseases. So I think on the healthcare side, obviously, speed is everything. But when we can detect things earlier, obviously the outcomes for the human race is better. So that's one area where AI could significantly improve
I'm all for that.
everybody's
I
lives.
wonder if
Yeah,
that
right?
guy that you ran into that was like, I'm not supporting any business that uses AI would care about his early cancer detection.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like I think the people who are opposed are like they're looking at the advancement of AI at what cost. And then those that are for it are saying the exact same thing.
There's always a cost. If we look at the Industrial Revolution, when the big manufacturing plants started to be built and a lot of people lost their livelihood because of the manufacturing plants, right? There was
Yep.
giant riots. There was riots happening. People killed people. And you know what? I think we've talked about it before. From what I hear, in the next few years, there may be something similar that's going to happen. There could be chaos erupting because of all this AI and
Well,
people losing their
and,
jobs.
yeah, now okay, so is it a cost or is it a trade-off?
I think it's just how things are. It's the cost of doing business,
It's the cost of
it's the cost of progress.
Well, okay. And so even like we talked about this earlier and kind of like what you're talking about right now, technology has always evolved and it is always disrupted, but we have always survived. We have the ability with AI to truly make some significant advances in a lot of different areas. And a lot of people also, one of the things that people talk about is that, oh, like all these people are going to lose their jobs. The World Economic Forum estimates that AI will displace roughly 85 million jobs, but it will create 97 million new jobs. And that number was for 2025. If you think about it, if you've been dabbling with AI out there and maybe you're like, I don't see what the great thing is about this because it's no better than Google or whatever. It could just be that you don't know how to prompt AI. So,
Mhm.
what's a new job that AI is going to create? And prompt engineers.
Mhm.
There'll be AI trainers. There'll be AI ethics officers. There'll be data curators. There'll be AI auditors. Like with this complete change, will some jobs become obsolete? Yep. But lots of jobs became obsolete when
Right.
cameras were invented too.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
AI won't replace people, but people who embrace AI will replace those who don't.
I think so, and I believe that, and we've talked about that before. I say that exact thing all of the time, and I'm not saying like, okay, if we go back to the medical side of it, where AI is more accurately and more quickly diagnosing terminal illness, the white coats and the white collar jobs, those are going to be like instead of me paying hundreds of dollars an hour to sit down and talk with a lawyer, for example. He's going to consult his AI expert who knows literally every single case that has ever happened in all of history. His rate should come down because now he's going to go, oh, here's the issue. Boom, AI.
Right? Yeah,
But a
because
plumber, a
oh
plumber
yeah,
today his price is gonna go up because the AI can't do that yet.
I
And I
know.
say yet because they
I
talk about robots doing that too.
well, that's pretty far off. We'll probably all be dead. But I tell my staff all the time, I'm like, you know what AI can't do? Pick up dog poop. And it also can't groom a dog. So I mean, we've got job security.
And not only that too, but I think that AI cannot replace the human interaction. COVID isolated a lot of people, and a lot of young people grew up on devices, and now they're maybe awkward in normal public situations. But people still crave people interaction.
For sure. That's why
And
events are so important in our stores.
yeah, and like, okay, so AI can tell you about events. It can tell you what people should do at events, but it doesn't have the lived experience that you and I have about attending events. Like, could we ask AI to tell us all about Super Zoo? Yep, we could. But has AI actually lived Super Zoo? Have they actually attended Super Zoo, been a participant, been a first time, never been to Super Zoo before? Oh my God. And you're like that wide-eyed kid in a candy store. And like AI doesn't have that experience. And so when I want to talk to somebody, I think back to last year when we were at Super Zoo and I chatted with that couple. I can't remember where they were from now. But anyways, it was their very first Super Zoo. They had been in business in the pet industry for over 20 years, but this was yeah, this was their first Super Zoo. And I remember my first Super Zoo. So the conversation that I was able to have with them and recognize how exciting it was for them and how it was so eye-opening, and I could relate to that. AI can't relate.
No,
AI could tell
no.
you what people do at Super Zoo, but it can't relate on a human level. So it will never replace that. Even though there's people out there falling in love with their chatbots,
Oh,
it's
gosh.
not going to replace humans. Hey, Pepro, have you outgrown your current POS system?
Are you looking for something more modern, more streamlined, and, dare we say, a sexy POS system?
Because if your system is clunky, outdated, or just not helping you grow, we need to tell you about the Pet Shop Girls Preferred Frampause Package.
That's right. We partnered with Frampos and negotiated this package specifically for independent pet retailers, and the savings are real.
Yeah, we're talking lower merchant fees, a better email package, and a hardware bundle worth over $2,500 and more.
So, this is not just a prettier POS. This is a sophisticated system designed to help you grow smarter and save more.
If you want better tools, better support, and better rates that you did not have to negotiate, as well as a system that actually feels like it's built for where your business is going,
Go to 2petshopgirls.com/Frampos. That's FRANPOS for more information and to book your discovery call.
that's 2petshopgirls.com/Franpause. And make sure you mention code PetShopGirls to score the savings that we've already negotiated for you.
Pet Shop Girls is a paid partner of Frampos.
Okay, let's get into that because we're kind of leaning that way anyways. Let's go into the why those folks out there who are against AI just might be against AI.
Well, I think we touched on it, and part of it is the environmental concern.
Yep.
It uses massive amounts of electricity and water,
Yep.
and nobody wants these giant data centers in their backyard type thing.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like we'll figure it out. Like it's
Well, okay. So these data centers are massive. They're literally the size of large cities in the US. But for the folks who are kind of saying, well, I wouldn't support a business who uses AI or don't use AI because of the environmental impact on the world, then you better stop using Google and Amazon
yeah.
because they and Microsoft, right? Like they have data centers
For,
just as big as any
for
AI.
real, the people who are against AI, I'm like, okay, so do you not use the internet? I guess you
Mhm.
don't use the internet, huh?
This is in my little tiny pea brain because I'm not a technical person, but in my little tiny pea brain, I think the guy who wins at AI is the guy who figures out how to make micro data centers. And I
Gonna
say that
shrink. Well, okay. Well, let's think back. Computers used to be the size
the size of gymnasiums.
buildings, and
Mhm.
now our computer fits in our hand.
Yep.
So we're gonna. That's why I say we're gonna figure it out. It'll get. It'll get
And
better.
and that's what that's what I feel like. I think back to when I was in my corporate world and we were a technology company, and they would talk about back in the day when this company got its first computer. It was the size of a gymnasium, one computer, and it could do like
Basic
words.
math.
Like it could, yeah.
It's like basic math.
It was, yeah. And
Like
so,
a calculator.
and now that's exact. Oh, this is what I was going to say too, with regards to those who are like, okay, this is your friend who didn't want to finish the end of his movie with AI.
Yeah.
That is like, w- you're in school, you learn how to do math. And then after a certain age, they should let you use a computer or a calculator. You know how to do math.
Mm-hmm.
And so why would we sit there and get you to fill out long form division when you could literally do that on a calculator to get to the end result? You already know how to do the division.
Sure. Who over the
AI
age
is
of
just a tool.
who over the age of 18 has done long form division?
No.
Do you
Grab a
do it
calculator,
do
man.
you do it for
Right?
fun? I would love to meet that person who just does it for fun.
Are those Sudoku players? I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe, I don't know.
Anyways.
I don't know how to play that
Yeah.
either.
That's okay. So yeah, like when we're talking about computers the size of gymnasiums and now they fit in our pocket, that's where I say the guy who wins AI is the guy who figures out how to make micro data centers that don't have the same environmental impact. But we're not there yet. But I mean, look at TVs and how they've,
Mhm.
evolved and technology just
Yeah.
does this. Maybe we're naive, Sherry, because we're just two little pet store owners and we're not, you know,
Yeah, what do I know, right?
brainiacs. Yeah.
I will say this. So here's another con that I've noticed
Yep.
personally for myself, because I used to write articles for Pet Product News. I thought I was fairly decent at writing, but since I've been using AI so much, I feel like my writing skills have suffered, which also means that this generation that's growing up with AI, are
Won't be able to
they
write.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I worry about them.
But well, okay, and which that does make sense because you look at the generation that currently is growing up on devices, they don't know how to speak.
Oh, to a
You
person?
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, like because they're so used to text talking, whatever the word is,
yeah.
talking through text or Snapchat or whatever they're doing. I don't know. But then you put them in a room with humans and they're awkward and they're incapable of starting small chat or carrying on a conversation or keeping eye contact.
Mm.
So you're probably right. Like people who are using AI to do everything are not going to hone and develop those skills. If AI stopped tomorrow though, Sherry, you could go back to writing
Oh, yeah, because I had it
because you
before.
know it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I have kind of become a little dependent on it. I use it
yeah, I know
so
ChatGPT is
much.
your best friend
I don't talk to it like it's a person.
all the time.
No, yeah,
All the time. No, you talk to it like it's your assistant.
yes, I
Do
do.
this.
Yeah, I'm like, I need this. I need it now.
Yeah. She likes it because she can browbeat her assistant this way and not be charged with HR violations.
Well, okay, here's a thought. The people who are winning with AI were probably already good without it. So if your business was doing well before AI, it's probably still doing really good, even better because you have the assistance of it. But does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think too that the people that were already doing well with their business before AI also understood the human elements in their business. Like I tell my team all the time that when robot employees are a thing, you're all gone. And of course I'm joking because even though now, would I have some sort of an AI? I do have an AI bot on my website that can answer questions
Mm-hmm.
at 2 a.m. when people can't get a hold of me. And would I have something like that in my store that maybe, hey, I just wanted to
We
run in and ask this?
well,
Yeah,
I
but will I
believe that we
replace
know
people?
somebody that has an AI type, like iPad on a stick kind of thing that people can walk up to in the store and ask it questions.
Yep.
if a sales associate wasn't there.
Yeah. Or wasn't available because maybe you've got 2 people on the floor, but there's 6 customers ahead of you. And you just wanted to ask, like, what was that herb again that helps with liver problems?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Ask the AI, milk thistle. Perfect. Go grab it and go pay. Like,
Right.
I think too that I think about people my parents' age and my aunt, who is like similar to my parents' age. My mom and my aunt are constantly sending me very cute, but obviously AI generated
Oh,
dog videos.
yeah.
And I don't know that they know they're AI.
Yeah, and that sucks. That does suck. And in fact, when those first started coming out, even I was like, this is this doesn't look real. Like
Yeah, I
I
know,
I had
right?
to watch there was a video I remember watching. This was like uh, just a few months back. I mean, less than a year ago, and I'm like, this doesn't look real. And I watched it over and over again, and I finally was like, okay, the AI videos are now a thing and they're taking over. And so it perpetuates the people who don't like it. I get why they don't like it.
Well, then I
Because
think it
it's like that.
also, yeah, and I think it also the personal conflict is that now I can't even believe what I see.
Mhm.
And I think so that kind of deep fake problem is real. I mean, when the shark flies over the boat with a Yorkie biting its nose to win the fight, like obviously that's AI. But when you see a politician or a celebrity who looks and sounds and acts just like they do, and it's not them, like that is a real problem. I mean, that's how impressions or opinions are swayed or changed or divided, is these deep fake profiles out there of real
Like
humans.
people could do that to us. Somebody could take
I do it to me, except for you'll know because my avatar has a lisp
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
occasionally talk with duck lips.
Exactly. But people could take the videos of us because
Yep,
we've put enough out there and they could
yep,
make us say awful things.
yeah.
I mean, and
I'm
yeah,
I'm
that's what's
waiting.
scary about it.
I'm literally waiting for the store in my city
Shall not be
who
named.
has become the bane of my existence, shall not be named, because they do everything in their power to try to hurt me. I'm waiting for them to be that smart to figure that
Oh
out.
my
Hey, should put
gosh,
videos up
I
there.
didn't
Yeah,
even think of that. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well,
they'll
they
make
would
an
because they're
AI
evil.
they'll make an AI video of you saying that science diet is awesome.
Yes, you should feed pedigree. I love it. I feed it to Zaner. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Oh, don't let that be the clip we use on video. Okay. I think we kind of talked about this and we talked about it with your buddy with the movie, that a lot of people are like artists, obviously, because AI has access to every single thing that's happened on the planet, including art and music and poems and books.
Yeah. I mean, let's just talk about photographers. The ability for us to create a headshot that looks almost just like what you would pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to a photographer for is
Yep.
mind-boggling. Like,
Yep.
for example, Carly and I have struggled with headshots in the past. That's why
Yep.
if you've been a longtime listener and you followed us since the beginning, we initially used these little
Bitmojis. Yeah.
cartoon avatar things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because neither of us had a good headshot. And finally we had some done. But the other problem is we're never in the same room at the same time. And so getting a picture of both of us together is
It's
is
challenging.
very nearly impossible. So
Yeah.
but with the power of AI, it has definitely helped and it has helped us revamp our look for season 3. So get ready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would say too that they're just kind of one of the maybe last things with regards to those that are against AI is the protests are real. Like there are a lot of protests and a lot of activists out there who are fighting the advancement. Hi, Vinster. But there's a lot of protests out there and a lot of people like the Writers Guild of America who went on strike over AI. There's the artists who are protesting, and then just the humans, regular humans who are like, this is terrible. It is going to destroy the world. I think we can't just dismiss those if you're on the, oh no, AI is a good thing. We can't dismiss the protests, because where I agree with those protests is the need for guardrails, the need for some sort of safety protocol and regulations around AI, because otherwise there is nothing stopping anybody from making AI generated videos of prominent people saying false information because it was AI generated.
For sure.
Like,
Back
yeah.
to the artists. I'm really glad I didn't become a Disney animator, because that's what I wanted to be when I was a kid. Because I don't even know if hand-drawn movies are still a thing.
I
think they're all
listen, I
computer
forget the
generated.
head on a stick man. I am not a good artist, so don't ask me about that. I think, okay, if we kind of like wrap this up and close the debate, the fear of robots taking over versus the reality is narrow AI, right? That the robots taking over is that AGI, that all-encompassing robot who knows all of the things. The AIs that are being developed today have a narrow scope of intelligence. Like you have a chatbot, you have a video creator, you have a meme maker, you have a songwriter, they're very narrow. These are not the robots that will end us. These are not Terminators. These AIs that we're using today.
Look, I don't doubt that could be a thing. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it. So,
well, future generations might. So people with children or grandchildrens might be worried about that. Grandchildren's.
well, and that's why you know what? That's why the rules that our
It
society
needs
eventually
rules.
sets going
Yeah.
forward may lay
Yeah.
the groundwork for those generations after us.
Okay, here, one other thing that I have heard, actually, I wanted to bring this up too, is that an AI expert, and I can't even remember what his name is right now, so that's going to sound real credible, but he is talking about the fact that there will likely be a bust in 2029. So we're 3 years away from that. But the reason that he thinks that is because to create everything needed to create new AIs and all of the back end infrastructure that's required, all of the data centers, all of that kind of stuff is extremely expensive, extremely, and significantly outweighs any revenue that these AI companies are bringing in. So it is not sustainable to have that much cost and that little revenue. That's where he thinks there is going to be some sort of a bust in 3 years, because it isn't sustainable.
Well, wasn't there a .com bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be similar?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, I mean,
It's like a bubble.
it is that's what's going to happen. That's the bust, right?
Yeah.
Any smart techie guys out there, I'm telling you right now, how you win this race is you figure out how to make micro data centers. But it's not going to take that long either, because that's the other thing with AI, speed. I think that's what's scary, but that's also what's fascinating. How quickly it changes and how quickly it evolves is scary, but how much more, if we're already diagnosing certain disease 6 months before a doctor could, how much more could we do if we continued down this path?
For sure.
Yeah. And you know what, we could harbor on this for forever. AI robots are not going to replace humans.
No.
And we will still, even no matter how crusty and cranky we are, i.e. me, we will still long to have some sort of human interaction that AI will never be able to replace. So I think that it can help you in your business. I think it can hurt you. I think if you don't know how to use it properly, or if you're just AI spamming everything,
I think it can
that's gonna hurt you.
amplify what is strong, and it can also expose what is weak about
And
you
when
and
you
your
say
business.
amplify, yeah, if you're doing something wrong, and you get AI to help you do that thing, you're just going to make those mistakes that much quicker. You're just going to keep doing the wrong thing that much quicker because now you just got AI to do the wrong things. So it's important, I think, that people, if you choose to use AI, that you do truly take some time to learn kind of best etiquette or best form or best in show, I don't know, the best methods to use it so that it is actually helping you do the right things.
Well, let's talk about the mini series that's coming up. We have 9 mini episodes that will be coming up for the summer, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to cover a bunch of different AI tools. Like Carly said, some I use, some she uses, some we both use. And we just wanted to share those with you. And maybe you'll find something that is like your new fave.
Yeah. And so then too, for our Substackers, you are still going to get your weekly content specific to the tool that we are discussing for the week. And there'll just be like little quick cheat sheets, because the minisodes are going to be that. They're going to be minisodes. They're not going to be 45, 55, 105 minutes long.
Well, that's
or 65.
that's what we're planning, but we'll see.
Listen, if I let Sherry do the minisodes, they'd be a 1 minute long. But with my involvement, they'll be 20.
Here's why you're going to want to use it. Go get them. Yeah.
Done. Next. Okay. Yeah. See, that's why I can't just let her loose, because she'll just, all right. Well, okay. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, we were not trying to persuade you one way or the other.
And we don't want to be, we don't want to be political. We just wanted to acknowledge that there are people on both sides of this thing.
And there are people on both sides of this thing, and for good reasons, because there are good reasons on both sides as well.
For sure.
But I think I'll end this the same way I started it. And regardless of what side you're on, I know you agree that 4 out of 5 people think the 5th person's an idiot. Until next time, thank you for season 2. We will see you in the minisodes next week. Bye-bye, Pet Pro.
Bye. Carly and I talk about retail smart guys a lot. And honestly, it's because we both work with them and we've both seen what happens when you actually know your numbers.
Yeah. Before I started working with Retail Smart Guys, I was only looking at the numbers that I wanted to see, not the numbers I should actually be keeping track of.
And that's exactly why we created the Pet Shop Girls Retail Smart Guys Success Package, and why we're so excited that you can get $1,200 off your first year.
So if you've been curious, this is such a good time to try it.
Because let's be honest, way too many retailers are working way too hard without really knowing what their numbers are trying to tell them. We were those retailers.
Yeah, were we ever. But now I have real support around improving my margins, increasing my cash flow, and actually knowing what's working, what's not, and how to make smarter decisions in my business moving forward.
It's not just reports you never look at again. It's actual guidance.
And you can only get the Pet Shop Girls Success Package by emailing jay@retailsmartguys.com. That's JAY@retailsmartguys.com.
And use the code PetShopGirls.
If you're serious about growing your store, this is one of those things that can genuinely change the way you do business. It sure has changed our businesses.
And side note, they also work with brands, not just stores. And just so everybody's clear, we don't talk about things unless we actually believe in them.
All right, Pet Pro, that's it for this week.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe.
Just hit all the buttons.
And if you want more, join us in the Indie Insider, our private Facebook group for pet pros.
Then you'll never miss the podcast that makes you sit, stay, and beg for more. The Pet Shop Girls.
Pet Shop Girls.
Challenge, y'all! Test this close. Shall we get this started for you?
Smooth, confident, and done.